right, we're going to draw now problem number 8, the gasket. So again, we open that title block. As soon as we open it, do a save as, problem number 8, gasket. And I may not draw this in the exact order that's in the PowerPoint, but again, it doesn't matter the order and the steps you do it, it just matters that you're able to do it. All right, so I'm going to actually, I'm simply going to take the drawing and look at it and go through this thought process of what would I need to do, what do I need to know to draw if I was drawing this by hand. And it's the same thing I would do in AutoCAD. So if I look at the same basic shape here, I realize that I'm dealing with a rectangle piece here, a big circle, 4 small circles, and circles here on the edges. So how do I draw that? And then I would have my fillet curve here. I would need to like draw this circle here and trim, get rid of that part, or I'd erase it. So there's different things I need to know. And if I use what I know, I can easily draw and create this. So every time you start off with a problem and it's given to you, look at it, break it down, sketch it out even. I've even been known to do this myself, like start off with number 1 and do like a quick goofy sketch of what would I do, and then number 2, goofy sketch what would I do, so that it helps me to plan it out and to think the process there if I'm not quite sure. All right, so this is what we're drawing. We're drawing this gasket. So I have opened up and I've saved it. And I'm gonna hit my save time to 5 just to be safe, so it saves as. And I'm gonna go to visible layer, and I'm gonna start off by drawing that big rectangle in the middle. And I'm not really worried about where I'm starting it at, but I am gonna tell it D for dimension. And then I'm gonna look so I know overall I'm dealing with a 7, yeah, 2.5 by 1.5, so that's 3.5. 3.5 times 2 is 7. 7 by 5. So 7 by 5, and click. That wasn't so hard. I know the corners have fillets, and I know their fillet is what? Oh, fillet is a half. Oops, and I want you to see what happens here, because I forgot to do the multiple radius and all that. I want you to see what happens if you just try to go. It didn't work, right? So go to your fillet tool again, and pay attention to what it's asking you in the bottom. Multiple, R for radius, and then the 0.5. And then pick each one of your corners. And it doesn't really matter which order or direction, it's still going to just fillet it for you. Okay, very good. All right, next I'm actually going to explode this box because I'm going to want to offset some of these lines here in just a second. All right, so I know by looking at my measurements that my center points for these are off here, going vertically 1.5, and then I would come in 1.5. So my offset is 1.5. Hit escape so I'm out of that, or I could hit enter also. I just have a habit of hitting the escape key when I'm done. And change that to center. Okay, good. Now I know I have 4 circles in each one of those corners that have a diameter of 7.5, and there's 4 of them. Point 7.5. Hit the enter key. Pick the next point, hit the enter key, because remember it pulls up the last command and the last size when you hit that enter key. That's what it does. It's just a little shortcut to help you. Now I need to get my main center line down the middle. I look for that triangle. So if you pay attention to your snap symbols, your O snap symbols, it'll help you out. Okay, there we go. Back to visible. Okay, I have a circle in the middle that has a diameter of 2.5. And then the circles to the outside have a radius of 1. So just change it to the right type of circle we're doing. All right. So that's not such a big deal, right? Now the next thing is we want to get rid of and make our center lines and everything look correctly. So easiest way to do that is to simply do, let's trim first. Let's get rid of this part and this part and that because those are not actually drawn. And we do need a center line running down the middle there. Here we go. I just hit the enter key again, go pick my starting point, and click. Okay, there we go. All right, what was I thinking? Okay, yes, we need to make that the right size. So I'm going to offset 0.5. And I'm literally just going to offset all of this to give me points to extend it to, or trim, etc. Because that's the quickest and easiest way to make it look the way it should, and to make them all uniform. Because you don't want to eyeball them. I know you're tempted to eyeball them, but it's always best to make sure that they are all uniform. I mean, that's just good drafting practice. Okay, so trim spacebar. Because I want the center lines for these circles here to end here. There. And there. There we go. And then I'm going to extend the other. So I go to extend. Remember, it's the exact opposite of trim. It adds to it. So I hit extend, spacebar, and start clicking on the parts that I need to extend out. Okay, now let's do a little erasing. Remember, you can go to the erase and select everything that needs to go away. Just after you select it, hit enter. Or you can do the method that I usually will find myself doing, is I select the object that I want to go bye-bye, and then I hit the delete key on my keyboard. It's just your own personal preference. It doesn't really matter as long as the job gets done. Nobody really cares. Okay, so now we have the basic gasket. Zoom extents, title block, border, the current layer, layout, rectangular, rectangular, corner to corner. So we repeat this every time. So once we draw in model space, then we pull it into paper space. Left click on the viewport, right click properties, and make sure C is trying to do 1.04. We want just plain 1. I'm gonna hit the escape key to get out, change it to the dimension layer, and then just dimension what I need to do. So let's do the linears, because we need those. So I need to know outside here to center point here. And then I need to know from the end of the center point of that to the inner center point here. And I want to keep it lined up, so I'm going to move my mouse around. Come on, there it goes. I love it when it does goofy stuff. Because my mouse is jumping right now for some god-awful goofy reason. There it goes. There we go. Okay, and then we repeat that process for here. To the corner here. Out. From the corner to the center point. Come on. No, I don't want it that way. So now you can see it picks on not just you, but it picks on me too. Sometimes it doesn't like, there it goes, finally. My mouse is being extremely goofy. Okay, there we go. All right, then we have some radiuses here. There's a radius of 1, and I need to put that parentheses 2 in front of it because there's 2 of them. I will need to get the radius of corner here too. And it doesn't really matter which corner you use. Again, parentheses in front of it 4 because there's 4 of them. Now, if something like that happens, see how it's on the outside? Just grab that blue note editor and move it with your mouse until it looks in a much more appropriate place. Hit the escape key to finish doing it out. So I literally am just grabbing that little blue note editor tool and pulling it around to where it looks right. Escape to get out. Okay, so I have those 2 radius. Last I need to do is I need to do the diameters. I could do radius, yes, but diameter is preferred when they're a whole circle like these are. Let's do out to here for that. Double left click, parentheses 4 because there's 4 of them, and diameter for the big one in the middle. And there we go. Let's go ahead and zoom extents. So what you need to change is, again, the title, your name, the scale you don't have to change because the scale is 1-to-1. You have to change the date, you have to change the course number, you have to change the professor, and you have to change the points. The points for this one is 150. I mean, not 150, just 50. I apologize for that. And then what do? You do a save as, save it to your folder, you print out a hard copy, turn in the hard copy, and then you log into Blackboard and submit the electronic version to me in Blackboard. All right, congratulations. You now know how to draw the gasket.